What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Fourth and Wrong podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Marshall, along with Colin, Dallas, and Donnie. It is the podcast after the Super Bowl. We will touch on that. We got a lot of other things to touch on. No more predictions for the rest of this year, but we are obviously going to talk a lot about the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about some other things that are happening around the NFL. There was a firing of 49ers defensive coordinator that kind of shocked everybody.
Wild.
There's been a couple other things that have happened. Maybe the altercation with Travis Kelce and Andy Reid we're going to talk about. So we're going to cover that all today and still have a nice long podcast. Before we get started, I did, and on my half and everybody else's half, I want to give my thoughts and condolences to everyone involved in the Kansas City parade shooting. That is very tough to hear. No one likes to hear that. And like Donnie had said earlier, this really sucks because if you're a Chiefs fan or not, it's just really a team trying to celebrate what they did and what they accomplished, no matter if you're a Chiefs fan or not. And the fact that we can't even get that done, it does unfortunately suck. So our thoughts and prayers go out to anyone that, any of the families that were involved and anyone that died or anyone that was injured. So I saw Mahomes tweeted about it. That was really nice. So you hate to see it. You really don't.
For sure. Especially, we're all from Michigan and the anniversary of the Michigan State shooting was yesterday. So it was already top of mind for everybody, at least, around me. So seeing that today was very unfortunate. So, definitely keeping all of them in my thoughts.
Yeah.
And just considering it wasn't even the fucking shooting of the week means we literally just had one at that mega church also. So
hate to see it. But unfortunately, that's just how it is. So our thoughts and condolences go out to them, and hopefully they can enjoy, the Kansas City Chiefs can at least try and enjoy the rest of their week of Super Bowl win. But
yeah, it honestly feels weird even trying to talk about the Super Bowl win at this point, now that, that has happened. But
it is
that game,
Kansas City
happened, so
Kansas City, it isn't the best city, but like they've already won 2 Super Bowls before this point. So it's like, it's very weird that something like this happened.
That game to me on Sunday, that went from that first quarter, it felt like, oh my God, we're in for another Rams Patriots game, aren't we? And then by the fourth quarter, like those closing minutes were some of the craziest football game I've ever seen. So that ended up being one of the top Super Bowls of the last couple of years, honestly.
I think everyone should.
If you were to watch the last half of the third quarter, and then the fourth and overtime, that's one of the best Super Bowls of all time. Like literally, if you were to take just that, like the first half didn't exist, like it's like that's a fucking incredible Super Bowl. People were saying it's like one of the best ever, but their first 2 quarters suck so bad that it can't be that.
Yeah, I don't know. In terms of like best Super Bowls ever, I don't think it's up there, but it definitely is, like, it is one of the better ones in probably the last, however long. I think it's better. Last year's was pretty good, but I mean, I think it was just the ending. The last year's was pretty good. You got to think, in fact, like the whole game. So it's like that first half kind of dumbs it down a little bit. But
last year was a good Super Bowl.
Last year,
think about it for a second. I was like, who just played in the Super Bowl?
Unfortunately, to you, Donnie, I am going to say that probably was better than that Rams-Bengals Super Bowl, as well as more of a well-rounded game. I felt like that Rams-Bengals Super Bowl was just kind of, I don't know, it was a good game.
It was
a solid game.
A Super Bowl.
It wasn't a bad game, but it wasn't a great game. It was a game.
Pretty good game.
It was exciting at the time because back then I was still rooting for Stafford to get his ring. But like looking back on that game was kind of just mid. There was nothing.
It was just
spectacular about that game.
I wouldn't even go as far as mid.
We've been getting kind of spoiled the last within the last 5 years. Like we've had relatively high scoring Super Bowls. Super Bowls like across the board aren't high scoring. Like they're not Rams Patriots fucking 10-3.
Because honestly,
like 20-24.
You look at Super Bowls. Before that. I'd say the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl was better than the Chiefs-Bucks because that basically was just a Mahomes ass whooping and Brady being Brady. I think it was better than that. 49ers versus Chiefs #1. Which one was better?
That one was good because of that Chiefs comeback.
Do we think
I think this was better because of the Chiefs comeback.
I think this one was really good.
I think this one was better than the 2019 Chiefs Niners, honestly.
I think it's close.
It is very close. It's very close. It is.
It's close just because of the first half. Like the second half of this one is the best part of either game.
But I think the only thing that is basically this game went to OT. The other game, it was like the comeback, but so it was like, it is weird doing it with my hands, but like Niners were up here, Chiefs were back here, and then all of a sudden the Chiefs started rolling and they just floored it all the way this way. With this game, it was like Niners, Chiefs, but then once both teams started going together, it wasn't, there wasn't like the Niners were dominating in the 2019 game in the first half, then Chiefs dominated the rest of the game. This game was like Niners kind of had it, and then Chiefs got it, and then it was like back and forth.
I'm gonna give the edge to this one just because that one ended kind of like weird. Like it was like the Chiefs, like Mahomes, remember he threw that long, deep out of bounds pass to end the game just to like run the rest of like the last few seconds. This one like was a walk off game winner. I think that one kind of makes it better. Just
someone can like, I know a lot of this hasn't been talked about. Can we appreciate? Even just a little bit, that man Mecole Hardman has got to be living the dream, man. Like, bro comes back to his former team, to a winning team, and bro has, I would say, a great Super Bowl game. Like 3 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. But bro had a huge catch, and then he had the game-winning touchdown. Like,
Mecole Hardman is like reminding me of like a very watered down Julian Edelman. Because he's not good in the regular season for the Chiefs. But, like, if you look at his playoff stats, like, he has good playoff games for them.
He does.
When they need it, he always has big catches. He had the catch to seal the Ravens game, which was the biggest catch of probably their entire postseason run outside of the catch to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, he's, like, a very weak version of Julian Edelman right now.
I feel bad for Tyreek Hill. He like tweeted on Twitter. He said, shout out to Mahomes. He said, shout out to all my Kansas City boys and Mahomes. Congratulations, guys, on another Super Bowl. I'm super happy for you guys. I was like, oh, that's a nice tweet. Bro was getting flamed in the comments. And he made a tweet like 5 hours later. He's like, why am I catching strays out of nowhere? like bro was just like, imagine going to Miami. Imagine doing this, imagine doing that. It's like, bro.
Tyreek's happy with his choice.
Yeah, I was about to say, Tyreek has already come out and said it was not like to go chase more Super Bowls. He made his decision because the Chiefs, it was the Chiefs front office that basically was like, he was like, I want to come back to Kansas City. And they were like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden they were just like, yeah, no, you're going to Miami. And he's like, okay, I'm all right. And he's just kind of was with it, whatever. As long as he got his contract that he deserved, he was with it. And honestly, Tyreek has already come out and said that I think when his contract's done, he's done. And honestly, what better place to finish out your career than Miami, Florida?
It's going to be the exact same thing with Chris Jones, more than likely. Like Chris Jones, he has his ring. Tyreek got his rings or his ring. And it's like, okay, I'm going to cash in because I don't have that much time left. He's not Mahomes or Kelsey. Like Chris Jones signed a 4-year, $80 million deal, which is pretty good. But like he's probably going to get more money than that on a shorter term for this fucking contract because he only has like 2 or 3 years left. But
yeah,
it's like you got to get the money while you can.
Anything else that anyone wants to say about the Super Bowl before we move on?
There's a lot we can talk about the Super Bowl.
More to talk about that Super Bowl.
Well, I know that. I mean, Marshall. I'm assuming some of the things you mentioned in the opening are some of the things you wanted to talk about.
Oh, I mean, sort of, not really, honestly.
I thought that was just kind of like an overview because we haven't talked about like fucking. First off, we've had 2 overtime Super Bowls within the last 6 years when we didn't have one for over 50 years. Can we fucking talk about how random as fuck that is? Like,
you say that's random. I think it's even more random that we had the kicking record broken twice in one game.
The same game.
And it
was a weird game.
It's not even that much.
Yeah,
it's literally not even that much. I'm like sitting there.
57 felt so short for a Super Bowl. I was like, really?
Poor Jake Mooney, bro said, I got the record, let's go. And then,
and then 2 quarters later, bro got it broken.
What the fuck?
We couldn't let a Michigan man hold the record.
Man, they just hate on us.
Man.
Colin, what did you say about, speaking of overtime,
can we talk about how the 49ers came out and said, like, all of the players were like, yeah, we didn't understand the new rules.
Yeah.
Or like they forgot about them.
That's wild.
What the fuck?
The only thing I wanted to talk about, like, coming into this podcast is the 49ers. That is a veteran-led team. Like, other than, like, Brock Purdy, that team is, like, guys who have
been... I want to know what players.
With, like, fucking George Kittle.
I was going to say, I think it was, yeah.
It was Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah,
he didn't know either.
Armstead
didn't know.
He was
the one. I think he was the one I saw in like a press conference or something, or maybe it was like
the new rules wouldn't have mattered. The old rules, they still would. The same outcome would have happened, though, right?
Well,
I mean,
right,
yes,
but that's why
but
they wanted the ball first, is because they thought,
that's
you go
what the
down,
point
you
was.
score a touchdown, you win the
Uh,
game.
well, they didn't.
That was
So.
their motivation for calling for the ball.
They got asked it in terms of, did you guys talk about who would get the ball first, who would get the ball second, that thing like
We
that.
want the ball and we're going to score.
Iconic.
Them not knowing the playoff
Pick
rules,
six.
I think is embarrassing enough. I think we can all agree. What makes it more embarrassing is with the only other overtime Super Bowl to ever happen, Kyle Shanahan was involved in. Like, he
I
was
was
the
thinking
coach
about that the other day too. I was
in
like,
that
wait a
fucking
minute.
game. The
That's
only other
wild.
time it's happened, you were the fucking coach. How are you? Like, Andy Reid, if he didn't,
He wasn't the
he didn't
coach. He was
accept
just
it,
coaching
you
on
would,
the staff.
you would be like, man, Andy Reid, like, he's a vet. You got to know that. If you're a veteran coach who's been coaching over 5 years as a head coach, let alone fucking as a coordinator for like 15 years now, and you were involved in a game that was an overtime game and you didn't think about it, you're a fucking dumbass. Like, Kyle Shanahan's a genius.
Well, and not
Like,
even.
how
It's also just
ill-prepared
like, how do you not know the
are you not
rules?
prepared?
Well,
Yes, it would be different if this wasn't like a thing that just happened recently. Like, if this was a year that got
Because those rules are like, what, 2 or 3 years old now, right?
barely, they're like 2 years old and they're fresh and we talk about them constantly. Like, if this was a rule that was made like 15 years ago, I get it. Like, you know what? Shit happens. There's not that many overtime playoff games anyway. So, like, it never really comes up. That shit just like it just happened. The rule just got put in. We've been talking about it the last 2 off seasons. Like, I don't understand how the fuck a veteran-led
And it
team
was this
with a
team that they were
coach in
playing
overtime,
in the Super Bowl that this rule was put in place because of.
I think the worst part is that Chiefs players said they practiced the OT situation, whereas the 49ers had no idea about it.
Yeah.
I think that makes it worse.
Well, and that's what Travis Kelce was shocked. He said that they took the ball first. They were like, "Oh, okay, give it to him, I guess."
Yeah, honestly, against any other team, there's only I feel like one person in the league that'd be like, yeah, we want the ball first. That'd be Dan. Like literally the only person I feel like that because we are
and I'd
so
be down
like
for that.
we are so just fucking let's go down and score right now and put it in their down.
I know it's
throat.
it's
But
different if it was them
even,
trying to be aggressive.
Against any other team in football, if it was Niners versus Ravens, if it was Niners versus Bengals, I think Niners taking the ball is a good idea. I don't want Mahomes to be. Yes, I do. I really do. I don't want out of everyone in the league. Niners could have been playing Ravens, Bengals, the Dolphins, anybody. Them taking the ball first is a good idea, except for one team, the Chiefs. I don't want anybody. I'm okay with anybody in this league having the ball last, except for one person, and it's Patrick Mahomes. So I don't want to put that pressure on.
I'd say Aaron Rodgers as well, but that's just me.
Getting the ball first is such a disadvantage, though. Getting the ball first is it is.
It's not. I really am on that league. Dan has shown us this. Dan has taken the ball himself like 3 times this year, and it worked all 3 times.
You got to think about it in the terms of like a coach, or
I think it depends.
Like a coach, and you have a strong offense. You know what I mean? Like in college, it's a huge advantage to get a second.
They didn't really.
But like you can argue that. I'm just arguing like the logic of like a coach, and it's like, okay, my offense is good. If you go down and score, they go down and score, then it's sudden death. It's a normal or not a normal.
That's not a guarantee though. What if they go for 2 and get it? The game's over. Game's over.
Which they said they were going to do, by the way. They said if it came down to that, they were going to go for 2 for the win.
But
that's the disadvantage.
Yes, and I agree with that. And I understand, like Marshall said, the one person you don't want to give that extra 4th down to, because you're going to go 4 on 4 downs, you're going to play more risky. The one team you don't want to give that little edge to is the fucking Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes. I agree on that totally. The thing is just like I don't shit on Kyle Shanahan for that. I think he obviously has a lot more things that were a fucking problem in this game rather than taking the ball first.
Or like, now in the offseason.
If they go down and score and they stop the Chiefs, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares that he took the ball first. Like, I think it's a true 50-50.
Well, it's just like if the fucking Lions had gotten those 4th down conversions against the 49ers, no one would care. They would have been like, Dan Campbell is a genius.
Campbell's the guy.
He's aggressive at the right times. He's a winner.
A lot of people play the result. That's why I'm not really shitting on Kyle for it. It's like, I mean, it's the fucking Super Bowl. It's new overtime rules. Like, I get it. It's kind of a 50-50 choice.
I like taking the ball first in OT. I think because honestly, I'd rather you sit back, your defense gets carved up, they go down and score, then the pressure's on you. I'd rather go down and score, and this is just talking in general, not from the Niners game. I'd rather get down there, score, and then be like, all right, so basically, if they score, like, then basically we just get to go again. But if they don't, we win. I'd rather be put in that situation.
If you're an offensive built team, I think it is a better advantage to go for it.
Exactly, because
However,
if you
don't
go for
agree
two,
with that.
if you go for two, you don't get that chance to go down.
What if they go down and fucking get two, and then you have to go down?
Why would they?
Ifs all day.
Yeah, no, I don't
Why would
think
they?
anyone in their right mind is going for two if they score first.
Yeah, why would they?
I think you're going to kick the extra point and try and steal
I still, even if we
because
we go
then
down
an
and
extra
score,
point would end the game,
know,
and an extra point is
I'm
basically
saying,
a gimme.
What I'm saying is that you could sit here and say what ifs for literally fucking everything.
Yeah,
like,
and I still feel more confident going down.
But I'm not saying you guys are guaranteeing that second drive in OT when it's not a guarantee. That's what you guys are banking on.
Well, but I like I prefaced it. Kyle Shanahan made that decision with the thought of, I'm an offensive coach. I trust my offense. This is what it is. If that was
but he didn't. He didn't. He thought it was because of the old overtime rules. That's why he took the ball.
I'm sure Kyle Shanahan knew the rules. I think he just didn't fucking share it with his players. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't think
he's really make it any better.
Yeah, it's either he didn't know him or he knew him and didn't tell anybody. Like,
I'm not sure which one's worse.
Either way, it is shit coaching. I agree with you there. 100%. Not defending Kyle Shanahan at all. But I don't think he's so fucking clueless that he was like, the playoff rules changed? What the fuck? Like, I think he knew. He just, like, expected the players to know what to do, as stupid as that sounds. But, like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, that man had
really
no idea
stupid.
What
Just so we're clear.
Yes, it's stupid either way. I will say that, first off. But, like, there's fucking middle schoolers that know the playoff. That's a rule. So, like,
yeah,
I'm going to expect Kyle Shanahan to know, because there's no fucking way he doesn't. He's too smart. He builds such good offenses.
There are incredible coaches that do really dumb stuff. Sometimes we see it all the time. Why is it unlikely that Kyle Shanahan is having one of those moments where he goofed? You know, it happens. Sometimes coaches forget
it should happen in the world's
rules.
Biggest game.
Fucking Dan Campbell tried to call back-to-back timeouts a couple years ago. Granted, he's a new coach.
That was also the year I think we won like 0 games. So that would make sense.
We won 3 of them that year. Thank you very much. 3 of them.
Sorry.
Anyway.
But
without that season, we would not have GMAT cash. So
that's fair. I will give you that.
Speaking of, just because before I absolutely forget, like
I thought he was about to say, speaking of GMAT cash, I was like,
can we talk about
what a transition?
Can we talk about everybody in the league? It always comes down to Brad Holmes. Did you guys see he's just randomly signed that CFL player Matthew Betts, and it's like
he's kind of a dog.
Who is this guy? And then all of a sudden I realized
he was like the sacks as a DB.
18 and a half
linebacker.
Sacks.
He's a linebacker.
In like 16 games.
He's kind of a big linebacker. He's probably going to play defensive end.
I was like, oh my gosh, like 18 and a half sacks in 16 games. Okay, if he's in the CFL, okay, that's fine. You transfer that to the
back award, didn't he?
No, he was defensive end.
Okay. I thought it said best defensive back. I was like 18 sacks as a DB, or fucking the CFL is crazy.
Yeah, but like 18 and a half sacks in 16 games. I'll get won the award for most outstanding CFL player. Like, even if 18 and a half coming into the NFL, you translate that to 10 and a half or 9 and a half, fuck, I'll take it.
That means he's probably going to come in and be like a rotation.
I was going to say, he's definitely going to be a rotation guy that still has that threat.
I just love, it's just that I'm going to talk
about kind of like another James Houston.
I'm going to talk about this a little bit later, but I just love that this man Brad Holmes said, all right, season's over, guess what, we're going out and we're automatically just getting started already. He's like, no, there's no rest. He's like, I'm signing right now.
He's that guy that we signed is kind of a dog.
Could you imagine, like, this would be Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes is like, all right, I'm gonna trade for somebody. Sir, the trade block isn't open. I don't care. I'm trading for him. Okay, yeah, you're fine.
I did see earlier, and I want to ask you guys because I meant to send it to the group chat. Where the fuck is my phone? It was a trade proposal graphic that I think it was Pro Football Focus made, just to generate clicks or interactions or whatever.
What, they do that?
Yeah, it was PFF. It was trades that could shake up the offseason per Brad Spielberger.
I saw this.
Khalil Mack to the Lions. The Lions receive Khalil Mack. The Chargers receive a 2025 fourth round pick, and that's it.
Yeah, okay.
And then
that's cool
the caption was who makes that trade? And I don't think the Chargers make that trade.
Okay.
Am I crazy?
See, I'm on the verge of I don't want that to happen. That cannot happen.
Well, his contract is gigantic.
Exactly.
So, like, I don't think it's a good idea anyway.
A cap hit.
But that just seems so insane to me. Like, I know he's he's past his prime.
He was a couple of years younger.
But a fourth round pick seems so disrespectful.
He's a sneaky dog, man.
I would say we forgot he's not what he was, but he had 6 sacks in a fucking game this year. Like
he can still explode, you know.
He had more sacks than Joey Bosa.
I would not want him on. I would not want him on the Lions purely because of his contract, but like if they were to somehow like restructure his contract and we weren't paying as much, I'd take Khalil Mack on the Lions.
This is what's going to happen. Either he's going to get traded and really rework that deal, or he's getting cut because he ain't making.
Well, that's what like most of the replies were. They were like, nobody's traded for him. His contract is huge. They're gonna cut him.
Oh, he's getting cut.
But what would their cap hit be? Because it can't be cheap for the Chargers to just cut him.
Oh, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be awful. They got to do it.
Chargers are gonna suck for a couple of years.
I saw that the Lions are projected to go and get Hassan Reddick.
That would be.
I'd like that.
That would be awesome. A player that I saw rumored. I can't remember who the other one was. It was like a if the Lions got this player, like it would increase the offense because it was talking about wide receiver and it was fucking Mike Evans or somebody, and I was like, dude, give us fucking Mike Evans. We might have the best offense in the league, bar none. Like
this is a
receiver like that.
Since I got 3 different things I wanted to talk about today, I'm just gonna touch on one of them right now. And this is very random.
Donnie's frozen.
But this is very random. Oh, he's good. Very random. But I want to talk about the absolute masterclass that is Brad Holmes. Like I want to talk about because someone pointed out that it's unbelievable and it's almost seemingly impossible to have such 3 in a row in your tenure as a Detroit Lion, 3 in a row, amazing draft class. And I just want to run by them and we can regrade
these last 3 drafts. Detroit
last 3
Detroit
draft
might have
classes
one good
really
draft
quick.
class in a decade, bro.
So we'll start with 2023. Obviously, these are a little bit harder to grade because it takes longer than 1 season for someone to get where their full potential is. But looking back, round 1, pick 12, Jahmyr Gibbs turned out to be a lot better than all these critics deemed it to be. So that
one's in this actual call right now. It's crazy.
That is.
All right, I didn't want a fucking running back at 12 when we could have drafted Bijan, but yeah, I was kind of.
But somehow Gibbs ended up being better than Bijan.
I think Brad made the right choice there. It's almost like he's good at his job.
But Jahmyr Gibbs, we could say
perhaps we should just trust him.
Hey, let's get to the next year draft, and then we'll see who's
on a scale. Hey,
okay.
This is what I want to talk about. Can you please just
hurry the fuck up?
Well, I'm trying to, but you keep talking.
Why don't you go freeze again, Donnie?
Shut up.
On a scale from A+ to F, I would go A or A- Gibbs. He couldn't have done anything even better this year while splitting carries with Gibbs. Like that's incredible.
I would agree.
Linebacker, round 1, pick 18, Jack Campbell. This one, I think we needed more time. You know, you can't really judge him too hard yet, but like
he's shown some flashes of how good he can be, which is exciting.
I would go on a draft grade. I would go probably C+. As of right now, you know, C+.
I'd go B-. I'd give him a little bit more credit.
I'd say B-. Yeah.
I would say C. I would say C just because he hasn't even like earned his way out of the field really yet.
So it is what it is. We'll see him to do more, but round 2, pick 34, no question needed. Sam Laporta, A+. Like that, breaking rookie records as a tight end, absolute stud, and everything we need him to be. Automatically a top
Not just
10
breaking
tight end
records,
in
he's breaking
football.
records from Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Like,
Already top 10 in football out of nowhere. And everyone's like,
Really?
Sam Laporta, you guys could have drafted this guy or this guy, Michael Mayer. It's like,
Yeah, people like Michael
Bradful.
Mayer.
And see, this
That's
is why
wild.
I'm going over this, is because the amount of times I've heard, oh, the Lions could have had this guy over this guy. And Brad Holmes says, yeah, hold my fucking cock and balls. And and our player goes out there and literally is like the best on the field. And round 2, pick 45, defensive back Brian Branch. Another one that was like, wow, Brad
He'd be one of
Holmes.
the best DBs in the league.
I thought he was going to be, not that he was bad. Don't get me wrong. He was a really good rookie. And I think he's going to take a step forward next year too. But when he had that pick 6 against Patrick Mahomes, I know that was more of like because of the tip, but I was like, oh my God, we got a lockdown corner. I was like, put him in the Hall of Fame.
I was like, where's his jacket?
I was like, rookie of the year, put him in now, like buy stock now.
Because of his injury, he missed about 4 or 5 games, so we'll give him an A. But besides, when he was on the field, he was making an impact at all times.
100%.
So he will be
he's a hard hitter too.
I think he's our best. He's fucking.
He will be a great DB for years. And then the last 4 picks we'll kind of just go through. Can't really give a grade, honestly. Hendon Hooker, round 3, pick 68. Can't really give a grade, but you know,
I'm sure he was a great backup.
He's got that potential. Him and Jared Goff probably had some great conversations.
Yeah.
Broderick
Water really well.
Broderick Martin. He had a couple big plays. I remember there was one time where you started screaming at one of the games like Broderick Martin, and it's like, where did this guy come from?
I'm gonna give that like a fucking D because we need defensive line help, and he like barely played.
Round 5.
I feel like he played a decent amount actually, though.
And
he didn't really like log a bunch of stats, but I feel like he played a good amount of snaps this year.
We signed a guy who I'm pretty sure played more than him. His name started with a B. Benito Jones, maybe?
Yeah, Benito Jones. Yeah.
And these last 2
I mean, that's more of like a veteran presence anyway.
These last 2 picks I won't really touch on, but they're not really on the team. So going quick, 2022, round 1, pick 2, Aiden Hutchinson. You know, one of those guys in Detroit's absolute an A. He's I wouldn't say A+, but A. You know, he is doing what he needs to for Detroit, and hopefully in these next seasons he can become in that defensive player of the year, which he was for a couple weeks. Like, whoa, like Aiden's going crazy. Round 1, pick 12. We're not going to spend too much time on this. Jameson Williams, he can be great. He can do great things. We've got a lot more to see from him.
I think he was fantastic.
Give him 1.
Was a big reason the Lions even got out to that lead in the NFC Championship game. Without him,
I'd say a solid C+.
I'm giving him a C+.
I'd give him a B-.
I'm okay with a B-.
I'm giving him a C.
Purely because
of
some of the off the field issues that weren't even really actually issues. The NFL rules are just dumb. But he should have known better, so I had to knock him a few points.
I would give him credit. I won't even say the last half of this year. I would say like the last quarter of this season, he looked solid. And then the playoff game,
crazy what happens when he like consistently plays.
Crazy what happens
and gets up the ball.
Crazy what happens.
Okay, moving on. We're not spending too much time on each play.
Down.
All right, round 2, pick 46. Josh Pascal. Kind of. Not too much there. I give him a D. That's a D pick, honestly. That was one of Brad Holmes' down moments. Josh Pascal never really turned out.
Sorry, Marshall. Sounds a bit.
Josh Pascal is not really what we wanted him to be so far. So, I'll give him a D. I would say.
Fair.
Moving on. Moving.
The difference is there's a person that always wants to talk but never wants to listen.
Fuck. Well, will you quit fucking unmuting me?
Moving on.
Pay attention.
Round 3, pick 97. Safety Kirby Joseph. The Aaron Rodgers father. I think
A+.
I think and that's why I'm gonna say A+, because it's like, is this man a Hall of Famer? No, but he is like
he's gonna be good for a while in Detroit.
And where we picked him, round 3, A+. That's why I'm giving him an A+, is because we got him in round 3, and Kirby Joseph has been amazing.
He gets an A+ just for fucking ruining Aaron Rodgers' last game as Packers.
Bro, literally
sorry, not to backtrack, but what did we give Aiden Hutchinson?
An A.
An A.
Okay, an A.
See, that's the thing. Like, you gotta look at it differently. Like, Aiden was pick number 2, so it's like his expectations are higher than Kirby Joseph's.
You guys would say
well, I
A.
just wanted to make sure
I'll
you didn't give Aiden Hutchinson an A plus. I was like he's been good. Don't get me wrong, but
I'll
like
give you
there's been some moments where he's
yeah.
kind of disappeared, and so
It's
I didn't
like,
want to
hey,
give
yo,
him an A
where's Aiden?
plus.
Yeah, I give him an A.
you guys should give him A. I'm gonna give him an A plus just because I didn't think he was gonna be like a superstar pass rusher, and he has like exceeded that expectation for me. But
He had more sacks last year than Nick Bosa did his rookie year, right?
He's better than Nick Bosa, yeah.
he had like 10.5.
Round 5, pick
According to
177.
Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa is not a top 5 rusher. So there you go.
Round 5, pick 177, James Mitchell. He's been overshadowed by
I like
unfortunately.
him.
Yeah, I like him as a backup, but unfortunately he's been overshadowed by other guys. Round 6, pick 188, linebacker / fullback. Now Malcolm Rodriguez. Honestly, like throwing him at fullback, I think he's been great because he never did anything at linebacker. So
good for a little bit. Good special teams guy.
Round 6, pick 217. My one of my best friend's favorite player, edge James Houston, had the best 6-game stretch of maybe any player ever. Once I'm going into next year, once he gets healthy, I would like to see what he can do.
He was real close to making a couple plays in the NFC Championship game too.
He's always close,
and
he's so
that
fast.
Was his first full game back.
That's his difference name to Aiden. Like Aiden runs like he's Waluigi, and it's just kind of slow. But James, you watch the difference of him. It's like he's also
like relentless with it too. Like he doesn't care.
Aiden is all about the moves. Aiden is all about the moves, and he's good at it.
Houston is definitely more of just like I'm gonna move
because you see they move Aiden inside sometimes, and he can still use those moves. James is a pure linebacker standing up at the edge, and he is fast. He's way faster than Aiden, and he can get that edge. He was the only player in that Chiefs first game of the season, the Chiefs game, to touch Patrick Mahomes. He touched him, but Mahomes still got out.
If we ran like a traditional 3-4 defense, I think you'd be a fucking star. But like how we run defense, like if he was literally to be able to sit there and just edge rush all the time, like a TJ Watt, he'd be fucking incredible. But we switch it up.
Round 7, pick 237. Great hype man, good special teams player, cornerback Chase Lucas. Honestly, like he is really just a good special teams player, and he's I know they've kept him because of how great he is on special teams, and I always see him on the sideline hyping up the audience. So that's pretty cool. So
he made the roster as a 7th round pick. That's pretty decent.
That is very good. So we'll give him something for that. But 2021, the year of where it started, and honestly, in my opinion,
hold the fucking phone. Why are we giving him credit as a 7th round pick, but not Brock Purdy for being Mr. Irrelevant and being close to being Super Bowl MVP in his second year as a starter?
Before Donnie even
you
talks,
really want to get going?
No, but before Donnie even talks, I'm going to just speak for Donnie. First off, Colin, let me backtrack you on that. Donnie
I'm just trying to stir shit.
Donnie has said multiple times.
Really?
Donnie has said multiple times he doesn't take anything from Brock Purdy away. And honestly, he thinks Brock Purdy is a top probably 2025 quarterback. It's just that he doesn't like that people think he's top 10. Done. That's Donnie's literal take on it. Anyways, 2021 draft class. Round 1, pick 7, Penei Sewell, A+. There's no question. He's the best right tackle in football.
I would say he's one of the best tackles in football.
Probably one of the second best tackle in football, I would say. And honestly, he could be the best. Trent Williams had some very costly flags in that Super Bowl. Two in a row. And it was like, it busted out some drives for the 49ers. So, but Penei Sewell, A+, bro, has been the rock of our team. And I go looking back on that, at first I was like, to start out the tenure, I don't know. But now,
he is just a Dan Campbell player.
Would not change that pick for anything.
Embodies Dan Campbell's like entire philosophy.
Round 2, pick 9, defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike. He's been injured a lot. It's hard to judge him.
Levi
Onwuzurike.
He said
and then going on a 4-pick stretch here where Brad Holmes was in his element in the 4th and 3rd round.
Yes, sir.
Round 3, pick 8, defense tackle Aleem McNeil.
This guy is
Aleem McNeil was before Sun God?
A+ for Aleem McNeil for being a pick around 3.
Is the most underrated defensive tackle in football. So
A+ for a round 3 pick.
I thought we
Round
were
three,
already on round 4. My bad.
round 3, pick 38. Afitu Melifonwu. I'll give him a B plus because honestly, we could really.
I
use
didn't
him more
realize
next
he
year.
was from that first class.
He has.
He didn't do shit for a while.
He didn't shoot. Well, he
really
never got to
did not.
It
start for
wasn't
his
until
first
this
2
year
years.
that he
And then they
got to
threw
do
him in that
anything.
Broncos game, and all of a sudden everyone's chanting a V2 out of nowhere.
He's a great blitzing DB, which it looks like he's gonna keep doing.
He's fast, so we'll
They
give him a
need
B.
to.
We'll give him a B to B plus because it's like he can maybe do some stuff for us for the future. It'd be nice. Going on to if there was a above A plus, round 4, pick
A
7.
plus.
The Sun God, Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is an A plus plus by far.
Yes, sir.
There's no questions
Yes,
asked.
sir.
We don't even need to get to talk about it. He's already. It's honestly sad to say that he's probably already a top 3 wide receiver in Detroit Lions history. Bro's had 3 seasons for us. Like that's insane to say. Like it's probably like he honestly, Kelvin Johnson, Herman Moore, probably Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Better play in Detroit for the entirety of his career.
I don't want to detour your entire thing here, but like I remember seeing a thing when he got drafted, and people were like, "This was like the steal of the draft." Like everybody was talking about
this. Was one, yeah.
I've only seen that a couple.
Yes.
That was he got drafted. Like
that was talked about a lot.
He was supposed to be a 2nd round pick, and like he slipped.
He somehow fell.
Well, not only that, but remember when Frank got drafted? I remember being pissed, but then like the Bengals were gonna take him, and they ended up taking a center next pick. So logic would tell you they were. Yeah. And then like a bunch of teams wanted to take him at the late end of the first, and like we just took him around pick like 15.
Then I remember I was so pissed when we drafted Frank. I was like, what? What are we doing?
It's so funny how, like, it's funny sometimes how you steal, he's a steal, and you're like, yeah, whatever, and then like he actually becomes like a crazy steal. Yeah, it's just weird how that works out sometimes.
And then wrapping it up, the last 2, round 4, pick 8. Actually, the next pick, we had back-to-back picks. This one is very interesting, especially after what happened. But linebacker Derek Barnes, so he's been consistently on the field, and he obviously made the game-winning pick. But I mean, is he the best linebacker in the league? No, but I mean, he's been on the field a lot.
Boiler up.
For a 4th-round pick, you're not getting anything better.
Yeah, I'd give him as a 4th-round pick. I'd give him a B.
Yeah.
So, and then round 7, pick 30, Jamar Jefferson. Never got his chance, unfortunately, but
after a few times. He's still I'm pretty sure on the practice squad, so that's awesome.
I just needed to touch on how awesome.
Long story short, greatest football mind in NFL history.
I can't wait to see who we draft this year. Watch this year be awful. Like he just all our players
misses every single pick.
It'd be awful.
We trade away Jared Goff for the number 1 overall pick and Caleb Williams.
Well, I can.
No,
we
do that, and we do that, and then we draft fucking Shakir Sims. That's.
I was about to say I hate.
He's not even in this year's draft, but
basically, exactly.
I was about to say I hate talking this much, but honestly, you guys were weighing in on a lot of the picks. So if I don't know if I'll touch on all 3 things I wanted to do, but I do want to touch on this next one. So
yes, we'll do this, and then we'll move on to trivia.
Okay, and then if we have time, honestly, I'll just do my last thing.
But we can circle back around if we want to still talk about it.
So
Dallas said one of his trivias is a long one. So
this is really.
I said one super short.
This is also.
Oh, I thought you said you have a longer one.
No, I have like a normal one and then like a super short one.
And then a super short one. Okay.
Bro's gonna be like, "What's the capital? Washington D.C."
So
this is really random, but not random to us because Dallas sent this in the group chat yesterday. I all of a sudden just sat down and said, "Fuck it," and I made a top 25 quarterbacks going into next season and based off last season.
Oh, you shouldn't do this.
Brock Purdy, number 2.
Brock Purdy is in the top 5. I hate to tell you. But
what
are we doing? What are we doing?
No. I'm just, anyways, so I based it off last season and where I think they will rank in terms of next season. So, obviously, I need to put like. You'll see. Basically.
Real quick, Marshall. So is this like where you think they are from the beginning of the season or where they're going to finish at the end of the season next year?
This is where, so like I'm ranking of how they did their performances last year and then where I think that they will rank in terms of the beginning of the season and how I think that the everything will fall into place. How I think they'll perform. So, should I start from the top or from the bottom? Should I start with 1 and work my way down? Start from the bottom.
You wait for number 1.
Okay.
You said number 1's Patrick Mahomes, so there's not really.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, shut up.
Top 25, number 25. Will Levis. I think going into next year, he'll be the starter for the Titans, and I think that they could do okay. So number 24, I'm not going to touch on these guys a lot. Number 24, Daniel Jones. That team is Saquon might leave. The only thing good about that team is Brian Dable, honestly, in my opinion. I love Brian Dable. I think he's a great coach. Number 23, Justin Fields. If he gets thrown on a team like the Steelers next year, he definitely can crack that top 20, but I'll throw Justin Fields at 23. He honestly brought that Bears team in a late run at that last half of the season. So number 22, Joe Flacco. I really don't know about that one, and who knows where he will be next season, but,
if anywhere.
I don't think he's under contract. That one's a hard one to rank.
21, Geno Smith. Consistently, I mean, the Seahawks were okay.
I think the Browns might bring him back as a backup next year. Joe Flacco
back as a starter if they were smart.
21, Geno Smith. Cracking the top 20, Anthony Richardson. I think that Colts team is well built, and I like Shane Steichen, as that's his name, yeah. And I think Richardson, he showed flashes until he got injured, so as long as he stays healthy, I think he can be great. Number 19, Derek Carr. If that's who the Saints stick with or not, but I mean, it's Derek Carr. I always
Taysom Hill finally gets a shot.
I've always think Derek Carr's been a solid dude, so I'll throw Derek Carr at 19.
Isn't Taysom Hill like 32 at this point?
He's old.
I think he's like closer to 35 than he is.
He's up there
because he was old coming out of college.
Yeah, he went to BYU. They go on a fucking 10-year mission trip.
It's 2 years, but all right.
Same. I don't care.
Number 18. I wish this guy was higher, but 18 is Kyler Murray. I don't know what's gonna be.
I'm so glad. I've been seeing people put that man top 10.
I just don't.
He ain't top
10. It's hard because he barely.
But he's not healthy. He's never healthy.
I think he can be top 10. I don't know what's the next to come for him. If he stays on the Cardinals, do I really think he's going to be that great?
I think he's a slightly better Justin Fields.
Number 17.
Yeah.
Number 17. That's a little crazy.
I think he's a better passer than Justin Fields.
All right,
and that's about it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're comparing fucking Nathan Peterman to Tom Brady. What the fuck are we doing? Like, Tom Brady's only slightly better.
The dick is so far down his throat right now.
Oh, Kyler is good. Fuck you guys.
Kyler that far. It's Kyler Murray.
He is a freak athlete that also is a really good passer.
Has a fucking cannon for an arm at fucking 4 foot.
He can launch it. Is he accurate?
Imagine if he was a normal person. Imagine how good you'd be if he was like 6 foot. Exactly.
He'd be so much better if he was just a little bit taller. He could see over his line. Bro is just heaving that bitch down the field.
Okay,
he cannot see past his lineman.
That makes it more impressive.
All right, number 17. I don't know how people are going to think about this, but this is just my opinion. Number 17, Jordan Love. I don't think bro's even top 15 yet. I think I need to see. I need to see Kyler. I told you guys, Kyler was hard to rank for me. I don't know where is he going to be next year? Is he going to be if he's a Cardinal, he's probably in my 18 to 15 range. But if bro gets traded to the Steelers, oh my gosh, bro's top 10.
Steelers, my god,
that would be amazing. So Kyler is so hard to rank. He's like, but I'll explain. But he's like Anthony. It's really hard.
I think we need to do a 3-team trade between Chicago, Pittsburgh, and Arizona. And
send Kenny Pickett to Chicago, please. Oh my gosh.
Kenny Pickett ends up in Chicago as the backup for Caleb
send
Williams.
that man to Chicago.
That would be fun. Bro,
Kyler Murray ends up in Pittsburgh.
Goes out, immediately has like a 5,000.
And Justin Fields ends up in Arizona, and Justin Fields wins Arizona.
But anyways, I know people online wouldn't agree with this, but yeah, 17 is Jordan Love. I don't think he bro's that great yet. Everyone needs to chill the fuck out.
I might think that.
16, another crazy one, but the guys above him just have proven more to me, and he's old. Aaron Rodgers is 16. I know that's a bit low, but the other guys
played 3 snaps this year. Who knows?
That's really four snaps.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Actually, technically 5. 4 plays in his fucking Achilles snap. So
number 15 should be the reigning comeback player of the year, Baker Mayfield. At 15.
That's a little low.
I didn't know DeMar Hamlin's a quarterback.
I was gonna say again, bro died,
All
came
right.
back to
I
life,
don't want to
and
get into
then
that rant.
played games.
It's Baker or Stafford?
I'll real quick say I think this is the worst awards in like the last 10 years.
Oh, 100%.
I agree with that.
This is the
100%.
worst year for the awards.
Worst year for the awards.
We don't agree who should have won, but I agree they were fucking awful.
So number 15 was Baker. Number 14, Brock Purdy. That's honestly, I just think a good spot for him. He could have been 13, maybe 15, but he's interchangeable.
Play him in the top 10 out of lost by fucking shit.
Number 13, Trevor Lawrence. Bro could be top 10, but kind of fell off a cliff this season, and it was kind of wild out of nowhere. So I'll put him at 13. Number 12, Tua. Tua's hard, but I just feel like
I got Brock Purdy over Tua. In all honesty,
Tua's probably the hardest quarterback to rank right now.
I don't know.
He's like,
all right.
Awesome.
Moving on, number 11. Again, let me tell you, this is how I think they will perform as well next year. So,
Caleb Williams.
Hang on with me. No, I didn't put any rookies in.
Oh, okay.
Hang on with me. Number 11 is Matthew Stafford.
Fair.
He's not cracking the top 10 today,
unfortunately. No. I think that is a very fair ranking for him.
Because number 10 is CJ Stroud. Number
Facts,
10 is CJ Stroud. I think Stroud is going to fall out next year. I didn't want to put him higher than that because I'm like,
that is valid.
Marshall is low key cooking with his list.
Hey, this man is cooking.
Number 10, CJ Stroud. Number 9, as long as this is banking on him staying with the Vikings, Kirk Cousins. Bro's got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. That is, how are you not going to perform with that team? Coming off injury, Bro is going to win comeback player of the year with this.
I spoke too soon.
So
Kirk existed.
I
did. I really did. No, Kirk is 26 on my list.
No, Kirk's definitely top 10. Number 8.
I'll say you put Kirk and Stafford. This list is like perfect, so I'll give you that.
Number 8. Number 8.
God, I think I would put Kirk above Stafford though.
That
just feels so high, and I'm a Michigan State fan. I love Kirk, but like
number 8, the savior of himself, Detroit, Jared Goff at number 8.
Jared Goff too low.
Where's up there? Number 7,
top 2 ain't 2.
8 to Mahomes. Yeah.
Number 7, I've got Patrick Mahomes. No, I'm just kidding. Number 7, Dak Prescott. Sorry. And that for Dak Prescott has now been moved down to 8. So Jared Goff is now 7.
Oh yeah, that is crazy. How are you at fucking Dak ahead of Goff?
Dak is better than Goff.
Dak had
the fucking Packers and that shit defense.
Hey, you know who also lost to the Packers this year?
Who also Jared Goff?
Okay, can we finish the list and we can keep arguing?
Hey, what was the sample size?
All right.
What was the sample size, buddy?
All right.
The fuck up.
All right, let's see who agrees with this top 6.
Top 6, okay.
Number 6, Josh Allen.
No.
Josh Allen at number 6.
Don't agree.
I got to hear the rest before I can accurately.
Number 5, Justin Herbert.
Hell yeah,
Justin Herbert. I got you. Going into it. Get Brandon Staley out of there. Brandon Staley's out. Justin Herbert.
If this means Jalen Hurts is top 4, I'm automatically disagreeing with this.
Bro, Jim Harbaugh is his coach. Like, of course he's going to take a step up. He's a Michigan guy.
Get Brandon Staley out.
So he's going from a top 10 quarterback to a top 5? I don't know.
I'm telling you.
He's been top fucking 6.
All right, so Justin Herbert was 5. We got at number 4, we got Jalen Hurts. He had a down year this year, but Jalen Hurts he'll make his return this year and he'll have a great year. At number 3,
how many quarterbacks we had left when I said Marshall was
saying the number every time.
At number 3, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's he'll bounce back next year. The Bengals are gonna have a great year next year. Number 2, your reigning MVP, Lamar Jackson. 2-time MVP. I don't know how you can't put him up there. And the Ravens will probably, I don't see how they're going to lose any momentum going into next year. And at number 1 is Mitchell Trubisky. That is it is
who the Bears should have drafted.
It is Patrick Mahomes. It's scary to say. It's like when I started this list, it's crazy because I was like, it literally was like, all right, top 25 quarterbacks. All right, Patrick Mahomes. All right, now I got to go look at a list. It's like I didn't have to look at a list to know that Patrick Mahomes is number one. Like that's just how it is.
So the three of us, we got to grade Marshall's draft. Or not draft, quarterback list.
Again, this was
I'd
so
give it like
quick
a
on the
B.
spot. I didn't spend any time on this.
I'd give it like
I just
a
literally
B.
said,
Yeah.
Maybe a B+. I'll give it a B+. I'm feeling a little nice today.
what if I move Kirk to 26 and move everybody up one, Colin?
Jalen Hurts is still too low or too high.
Jalen Hurts is not 4. And Josh Allen is top 5, no matter what.
Josh Allen and Justin Hurts were interchangeable, but I chose to pick Hurts.
First of all, they're interchangeable, but then you put Justin Herbert over Josh Allen. How does that make sense?
Especially if this is
Justin Herbert and Josh
going
Allen
into
are
next year.
Oh, I thought you said Jalen and Josh.
No,
are
just
Going into
interchangeable.
next
Justin
year,
Herbert
I want you to know
They're
the Chargers
interchangeable,
are going to be
yeah.
awful next year. The Chargers are not going to be very good next year.
Yeah, but I think
that's not.
I don't think that Justin Herbert can still perform.
I would say that has.
I don't think he's going to.
Chargers
I don't
haven't
doubt
been
that
well.
he's still very good. Don't get me wrong. But if this is the rankings going into next year, he's too high. He's too high.
Yeah.
Yes, but okay. What do you think Justin Herbert is right now as a quarterback?
I think he's definitely top 10. I don't think he's top 5.
I think he's anywhere between 7 and 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Even I think he's a little higher than that, but either way, the Chargers are a bottom 5 team. So you're still holding them in
But
a
it's
higher
like, can we the last 3 years the Chargers have been so bad. And even on how bad they were this year, like 2 years ago, like 3 years ago, this man put up 5,000 yards, 38 touchdowns.
How much of this do you think is stat padding?
Like
Matthew Stafford used to do.
Yes, sir.
I think you got.
Here's what's going to happen. He's going to finish his career in Detroit.
I still think
it's going to be the opposite Matthew Stafford situation.
I think I'd
be so down for that.
I think the Chargers go 9-8, 8-9, whatever. But I think this will be Justin Herbert will still.
I think they're going to be worse than that. I don't even think they're going to sniff a winning record next year.
I agree with both of you. I think the Chargers are going to win like fucking 6-7 games, and I still think Herbert's going to be a fucking.
I think Herbert. I'm projecting.
I don't
Herbert,
think top 5.
I'm projecting.
You can't have a top 5 quarterback and be that bad. You just can't.
It happens all
Minnesota
the time.
Vikings.
No, it doesn't happen all the time.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It happens all the time.
Whether
it's injury, whether it's fucking he just had a bad year. there's a bunch of reasons why.
Who are we saying on the Minnesota Vikings was a top 5 quarterback and they were really bad?
It was a joke.
I was about to say, I was like, you're getting booted from this fucking Zoom call.
He's closer to top 5 than he is fucking 26. So how about you?
Yeah. I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but Kirk is mid.
But like I said,
no, he's not.
But like I said,
he's just outside the top 10.
I'll give your grade an A-, Marshall.
But you gotta understand. Here's my understanding with Josh Allen and Justin Herbert. I put Justin Herbert above because I think that Justin Herbert can still perform on a bad team, and I think he will play great. I think I'm projecting Justin Herbert to go for like 4,500 yards and like 35 to 40 touchdowns, and that would solidify me top 5 for him. And with Josh Allen, the turnovers did not stop. 2 years in a row of too many turnovers, and the Bills for a little bit were almost looking like down and out of the dumps, and they weren't, but they made it back. But then they still got out. Plus, it really sounds like Diggs might be out of there. And who knows if Gabe Davis gets a contract, what is going to happen to this Bills team? I still think Josh Allen top 6 is putting up great numbers next year. But like I said, they're interchangeable for me. Honestly, I'm sorry, but this one's not interchangeable. Jalen Hurts is number 4. Like he sticks number 4. He's stuck at number 4.
See, the thing is, I'm like, oh, that's too high. But then I'm like, who the hell do I put there?
Yeah, Josh Allen ain't 4, and Justin Herbert ain't 4. And Dak Prescott, I'm not putting above Justin Herbert or Josh Allen.
No,
before Dallas even
I would. That's my hot take.
As I think the biggest Hurts fan here, I will say when you first said 4, I was like, hell yeah, like Hurts at 4. Sitting here, that's slightly high based on what he fucking did last year.
I'm basing it off of what they're going to do next year as well.
Who's to say?
I said
he doesn't have the
last
exact
year,
same season,
along with how Hurts is going to have a great year.
Say he doesn't perform like he did in 2022 and fucking damn near be MVP.
That's what I'm thinking.
Real quick, say Josh Allen and Hurts have the exact same year that they did this year, where would they rank? Would you rank Jalen still ahead of Josh Allen? Because Josh Allen led the league in total touchdowns
We can
as
talk
for a
about this for
quarterback.
like a couple more minutes and then we got to move on.
My
They literally
my
had
my
they-
biggest my biggest thing to defend the turnovers for Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts had one less turnover than Josh Allen. And then second of all, since Josh Allen has entered the league, yes, he's led in turnovers since he's entered the league, but he's also second place for touchdown to turnover ratio. First is Mahomes. So he makes up for the turnovers with scoring touchdowns.
Yes, but you said Josh Allen has had one more turnover than Jalen Hurts, and this year for Jalen Hurts was considered to be one of
Physical
his
count.
worst. This was considered Jalen Hurts one of his worst years, and this for Josh Allen was considered like, hey, we on it, like he was top 5 at MVP voting. So the fact that Jalen Hurts was considered one of this worst years, and this is like a hey, that's Josh Allen, like this is what he does. Like we know Jalen Hurts' is ceiling, and that's why he is definitely above Josh Allen for me.
Is
Like,
that his ceiling or is that his where he peaked? Did he peak?
I will
He can
say,
get back
I will
there,
say. So I think we can all agree, like Josh Allen's year, like it started a little bit worse than it usually. It's kind of flipped. Like he usually starts amazing and then he plays like shit down the stretch. This year he played like shit to start and then he turned it on down the stretch. So like, but would you say this is like a normal Josh Allen year? I would say like statistically, yes. He has a lot of turnovers, he has a lot of touchdowns, he has a lot of yards, but fucking a lot of turnovers. Jalen had a fucking incredible year 2 years ago. Jalen this year, he set the fucking rushing touchdown record or
Tied it.
tied for whatever it was. That good, but like he obviously didn't play great. So call it okay year. Like it was okay. Like it was pretty good. Okay. Like so he's had an amazing year. His rookie year was bad, and he's had an okay year. Josh Allen has had fucking consistent, like, I mean, it's good, but like, so Jalen's in a spot where this year proves a lot about him. Like if he comes out 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and he has fucking.
But he's never done that. Even his best year, he's
what I'm
never.
telling you is that's why this is a pivotal year. That's literally why that was the first thing I said in the fucking sentence. So, again, what ifs? We're doing a lot of what ifs. It's the
No,
fucking
that's a fact. Like Jalen's
That's a
never had
fact.
more than
That's a fact.
35
Why would you
passing
say what
touchdowns
if,
in
bro?
a season, whether
All
it be
right, time to
college
move on.
or
Move on.
pros.
Now let's get to that point where fucking don't want to hear.
No,
Colin,
that's a fact. That's
Colin,
not me like
I'm gonna
going
let
crazy.
Dallas finish your thought. Donnie, shut up.
I'm just saying I can't picture somebody scoring more touchdowns than another person with the same amount of turnovers, because I'll say turnovers are a wash. Based off of last year, I can't see a world where more touchdowns and the same amount of turnovers is worse than less touchdowns.
Yeah, but it's based off how I think they'll do next year. Like I think Jalen Hurts will be better than Josh Allen this year. I really do.
Do you think he's gonna have more total yards, more total touchdowns? Like
I think he'll have. The Eagles really, besides their center, I mean, they really are. I don't think they're going to lose too much. I think the Eagles come back with vengeance. The Bills. I think Diggs is out, and like the fact
I think that's a good thing if Diggs is out. I think that's a benefit.
he's
Got there. Like his stats dramatically improved once he got there.
Yeah, it really Diggs leaving unless they go get the next Justin Jefferson. The Bills scare me a little bit. Josh, I think to the point where plus like I believe Jalen Hurts can now. If he comes out and has a bad year next year, it's like okay, but we're not used to these Jalen Hurts turnovers. We're used to the Josh Allen stuff. That's just what I'm thinking. So it's like I think Jalen's going to come back next year and improve, and he'll be better than what he was. Josh Allen, I haven't seen a year where he's changed what he's done, but I still think Josh Allen, if he has a year that puts him in MVP race, then I'll change my idea because we've had a year where Jalen Hurts should have won the MVP, but that's where we'll leave it off.
All right, not to steal Dallas's thunder, but it is trivia time, and I'm going to start it off this week with a
look at even
a real easy one. So obviously, this was the Super Bowl.
Colin, you keep moving your chair. I think it's a person.
Me too. Like it's fucking weird.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just keep fidgeting. But so obviously, Juwan Jennings had a great game. the other day.
The
He is
GOAT.
now the second player in NFL history to have a touchdown pass and a touchdown reception in the Super Bowl. Who is the other player to do that?
You know how fucked
Mike
this
Bird.
was. You know how fucking
I
BF this was
know
Dallas's
it.
trivia.
I know it. I
What
know
is
it,
this?
Colin.
Wouldn't that be wild?
What if
I
this
know
was
who it is,
Dallas's
Colin.
trivia? And he's like, "What the fuck?"
Michael Burton.
Nope.
Are you serious?
There's
Was that a
one other
serious
player.
guess?
I
He's
know
the
who
guy
it
who
is.
threw the fucking touchdown to fucking Nick Foles.
No,
Okay.
Nick Foles is the answer.
Yeah, Nick Foles. Nick
Idiot.
Foles is the answer.
Wait, what did you say? Did you say to
Bro just said a random
Jawan
thing.
Jennings is the second player in NFL history to have a touchdown pass and a touchdown reception in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
The only other player to do it is Nick Foles.
Yeah, that was my bad because I remember seeing that guy.
But isn't that just like a wild random stat? Is that there's only two players to do it. One of them's Nick Foles. He's not even in the league anymore.
he
Had
should
one of
be.
the greatest Super Bowl performances of all time.
And then dipped.
Said, I'm out of here.
Played for the Jags for like 2 years and then was like, yeah, I'm done.
Well, he had great spurts at moments. He was like amazing for the Eagles for like a year.
Mhm.
He's
People forget
also
his,
a
like-
Michigan State product, technically.
Growing up watching football,
He-
like I grew up watching the Mike Vick
That
with
man
my boy
was
Deshaun
in
Jackson.
the same.
Bro,
This was the
repeat-
2008 Michigan State quarterback room. Brian Hoyer.
Hell yeah.
Wait, let me pull up the picture. Let me pull up the
Nick
picture
Foles
so I
is
can pull
still
it up
tied
later.
for the most passing touchdowns in a game with 7.
Bro, forget that man was a dog. I don't know if it was his rookie year, the year he replaced Vic.
2013.
20 he had either 26 or 28 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Like
Yeah.
that was like a really weak
It was
version.
2013 because I grew up watching Deshaun Jackson. He's like my favorite player. And I remember when like Vic left, I was like, damn, what the fuck? All of a sudden Nick Foles came out. It looked like the next coming of Tom Brady. I said, this is amazing. And then they got rid of Deshaun Jackson and Nick Foles was asked the next year.
All I can think about with you saying that is like imagine being an Eagles fan and you're like, fuck yeah, Nick Foles. You get the jersey, you're all happy, and then he turns to shit. And you're like, and you just toss it in the closet. You're like, fuck that jersey, fuck Nick Foles. And then he comes back and wins you the Super Bowl. You're like, where the fuck is that Foles jersey? And you're like,
Yeah,
like,
bro, in 2013, he didn't do shit in 2012. But in 2013, bro went for 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. And then the following year went 2,000 yards, 13 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Bro bounced around from league to league.
That was Chip Kelly, man. Chip Kelly fucking was good for like half a year and then
Bro
sucked.
Bro's last year with the Colts, he had 3 games played, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, so
It's
this was it was 2007 was the quarterback room for Michigan State. Brian Hoyer, first of all, Nick Foles, and
Brian
Kirk
Hoyer's name.
Cousins, all three were in the same
Yeah.
quarterback room at Michigan State at
All
one point.
below mid quarterback.
Michigan
Facts.
State fucking hey, Colin, Michigan State QBU? You need to
No,
start having the conversation.
it's not a
Definitely not.
chance.
There is
It's not
2
Michigan.
rings. There's 2 rings in that quarterback room alone.
It's okay. We got the
And
go.
none of them
It's
were
okay.
earned, Colin. So let's not go to that one.
No, the
You guys,
Nick Foles
Michigan
one was
doesn't have
earned. The
quarterback
Nick
you,
Foles
but they
one was
got
earned.
the
Oh, I'm
quarterback.
thinking Brian
Exactly.
Hoyer. I was thinking Brian Hoyer earned
They
both
got
of them.
one
Because
guy.
I
that's why
think
earned them.
Brian Hoyer was only on the Patriots for one of those Super
Bernard
Bowl
Robinson
runs.
was sweet.
So maybe there's more than that. Let me see.
There's got to be more. He was on the Patriots for a while. It's back.
He had
I
a
feel
couple
like-
different.
I feel like
stints
if
with the
Michigan's
Patriots.
anything, honestly, they've been sort of a DB. Honestly, they produce some pretty good DBs
I think
Who?
we're just overall just.
or O line.
I don't know if you
have a
guys
good
saw, but
O-line.
Michigan has the record for the most players invited to the combine this year. With
Don't worry,
18.
I heard a fucking
usually what
earful of
happens
it
when
from
you
my
win the Natty.
girlfriend. She like
I would say. I mean, it makes sense now.
But it's the
Anytime-
record now.
anything,
nobody's had
anything
18.
great happens
Everybody
Michigan
deep.
related. My girlfriend makes sure
It's
to
the
let me know.
record,
She's
but
like,
it's only
hey, did you
18.
know
That feels so
Michigan-
low.
I think
Well,
only 250 people get
Yeah.
invited.
True. That's probably
So if
why.
you have 18, that's fucking crazy.
Did anybody from Michigan State get invited?
Yes, actually.
Colin
Yes.
Colin
Thank you
knows this
very
guy
much.
by name
Their
and date of
backup
birth.
hunter.
No, it was one of our offensive linemen. Weirdly enough, got invited to the NFL
He won't get
Combine.
drafted. That's cool.
Colin,
Yeah.
are you semi excited for like what Michigan State could be this year?
Yes, I think
Okay.
I think Michigan State is going to overachieve this year.
Yeah,
I think
you
a lot of
can't
people
underachieve.
well, the win total, well,
Can't
true.
do worse.
It can't get much worse. Here's the thing. I think if everything that had happened with Mel Tucker had not happened and he had been able to stay the coach at Michigan State, I think Michigan State wins 6 games this past year and makes a bowl game. We were 4-8. We were 4-8 with no coach for 3/4 of the year. And if the Iowa game and the Rutgers game had not ended with such awful like coaching malpractice, we would win both of those games and we would have been 6-6 and headed to a bowl game. So I think we've upgraded basically everything. You know, granted, how much of an upgrade all of those upgrades have been, like that is we got to wait and see until the fall. But the schedule is easy enough. I think the quarterback play will obviously be improved. Aiden Childs is going to be a dog.
What?
A lot of people are really high on him and think that is like the big transfer of the year, and he's going to like go crazy next year. But yeah, and then like Michigan could have a down year. We could steal that game depending on how bad they are and how much we've improved. So I think MSU is going to overachieve next year in football for sure. The win total set at 5.5. That feels like easy money on the over.
You know,
I think they're going to make a bowl game for sure.
Do you know what happened to Oregon State quarterback? I'm going to butcher his name. DJ Uiagalelei?
I think he's transferring to Florida State, if I remember right.
Okay, because I remember like he might go draft. He might. I'm
no,
surprised
he hit the transfer portal for sure. I think he's at Florida State next year.
Yeah, when he entered the transfer portal, because like he was debating either transferring or going pro,
yeah.
and he would have been like a fucking 6th round pick. So
yeah, he wasn't good enough to go pro yet.
All right,
and he's got one more year of eligibility. Anyway, yeah, trivia time.
He would have went to state.
The real trivia time.
Yeah, sorry.
The real trivia time.
I knew you guys were gonna get that super quick. I just was like, that's wild. Like when I heard that, I was like, that's kind of crazy.
My short trivia is kind of similar to that, Colin. Mahomes made history, of course, by winning the Super Bowl, but he was the second quarterback in NFL history to lead the team in both passing and rushing yards and to win the Super Bowl. Who is the other quarterback to do that?
Oh.
Leading the team in passing and rushing.
Did Frank Tarkenton win a Super Bowl?
No, he never made the Super Bowl.
Damn it.
I have kind of a I don't want to guess that.
Probably would have been Colin Kaepernick if they would have won.
That was gonna be my guess, but then I was like, shit, didn't win the Super Bowl.
I'm gonna guess John Elway. But he was older when he won, so like, yeah, that didn't feel like
not John Elway.
Just because he was older.
No way it was Russell Wilson.
No, not Russell Wilson.
Russell's my second guess.
I had to throw it out there. They got
beast
mode. You got to think of teams. I don't know. You got to think of teams that had bad running backs, more or less, than scrambling QBs.
Who have we guessed already?
Colin, we just started.
No way, Russell Wilson, you fucking psycho.
Man,
he's checking.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's checking before he guesses Drew Brees this time.
I'm not gonna lie. That's worse than the Drew Brees thing. We literally just.
Did we just finish? Did we get it? I was not paying attention.
Get it?
No, we didn't get it.
God,
we've had 2 guesses.
We just started.
Bro's in trivia mode. He's not fucking ready to guess. He's trying
to. Colin is the smartest guy we know, and when it comes to trivia time, bro turns off his brain.
Bro is like Patrick and SpongeBob. He fucking opens his head, takes that brain, and throws it across.
Colin went and got his master's degrees and is smarter than all of us. But then when it comes to trivia time, bro turns into Patrick. It's like,
fuck.
Bro's looking it up right now.
I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh, they lost. Damn.
Oh, they lost.
Crazy. Well, because I had a guess, but I was like, I'm going to fact check it before I say it.
What was the guess, Colin?
I'm like 90% sure that Marshall said it. I think it might have been his guess. What was his guess? His first one.
Kaepernick.
He said Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, that was your official guess?
Well, no,
not really.
What was your first one?
I said Frank Tarkenton.
Okay, yeah. that was who I was fact checking. I was like, I think he just said that, so I'm not gonna say this yet.
This man was double checking to make sure no one said Drew Brees this time.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I don't have a guess right now.
It's not.
Frank Tarkenton was gonna be my guess.
we're gonna get fucked up because it can't be a running quarterback. That's like, you know what I mean? Like,
I know what you're saying. It has to be a team with bad running backs.
Won a Super Bowl. Like, not a lot of running. Steve Young? Is it Steve Young?
It is Steve Young.
That's good guess. That is a great.
That was a good pull.
No running quarterbacks have won a Super Bowl.
Steve Young.
I was like, Steve fucking Young won a Super Bowl.
I was about to say just because
if it wasn't him, I would have been fucking lost.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say some shit like it was actually Patrick Mahomes in 2019.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been a big move. Fucking Tom Brady.
All right.
He had one rushing yard.
It was also Nick Foles, like Collins trivia. Do you imagine?
Fucking insane. If he had a passing touchdown, rushing touchdown, or receiving touchdown, and led them in rushing, bro, that would have been
quarterback performance of all time.
Game if he has that.
Yeah.
All right. The second trivia that I have is obviously Lamar Jackson. He won his second MVP. He now joins an elite group of multiple-time MVPs. He is the 11th quarterback to do it. Who are the other 10 to have multiple MVPs?
Colin, go first.
I'll do this. Yeah, we'll go in order. Colin,
well, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, he has 4 MVPs.
Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning with 5. He has the most all time.
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre with 3.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady with 3.
Did someone say Mahomes?
Mahomes with 2.
Okay.
And we hit a wall.
Yeah.
We were rolling.
We were.
Is this just
we rattled
QBs?
them off so quickly I wasn't counting to see how many we
got
named.
5 left.
This isn't just QB. This isn't just QBs, right?
No, it is.
It's multiple MVP winners.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought we were naming the quarterbacks.
I mean,
multiple.
A lot of the quarterbacks have done it.
All players to win multiple MVPs. Yeah, because I also thought it was quarterbacks.
Billy Cannon.
Jim Brown.
The GOAT, Jim Brown, makes his return to trivia.
We got to get a Billy Cannon back in trivia.
I do
Jim Brown with 3 of them boys.
He's
also the first person to win 3
episodes.
This is my guess.
He might have been the first person to win MVP.
He was the first person to win back-to-back MVPs too.
Is it my guess?
It is.
I think Donnie said Jim Brown kind of cut me, but oh well. Kurt Warner.
Kurt Warner with 2.
I was gonna guess Kurt Warner. I couldn't remember if he got
pass.
Hey, who's that?
What team did he play for?
Listen, it's better than me saying some dumbass answer because I'm taking
gotta
too
guess
long.
one, bro. Rip it.
Did he win 2? I think Joe Montana.
Joe Montana did not win 2.
What?
I'm just kidding. He did.
I was about to say.
I was like, there's no way he's in the GOAT discussion for all those years if he didn't have at least 2. Like, there's no fucking.
He won 2.
Fuck. Okay.
We're just missing one guy.
We're missing 3.
Oh fuck.
I'm trying to think of any other modern era guys that we might be missing, but I feel like we've already covered like post 2000 with all of the guys we've guessed.
This one's risky because I fucking just forgot who it was. Fucking.
I mean, you said Brett Favre. You said Brett Favre, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah. We got Brett Favre. We got Aaron Rodgers. We got
we got
Tom Brady.
Peyton Manning.
We got Peyton Manning.
I don't know if he played long enough. Walter Payton, did he win too?
He did not. No.
So we've got Peyton Manning. Name us who we got.
You got Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Jim Brown, the GOAT, Brett Favre, obviously Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, and you got 3 more. Not including Lamar, obviously. Actually, I forgot. You said Kurt Warner, Marshall, so there's 2 left.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
I forgot you said Kurt Warner.
Yeah,
we got 2 left.
I think Donnie already said the name earlier. Steve Young.
Steve Young. He has
I was
2.
gonna guess him, but I didn't feel like he was starter long enough.
We have one more player with 3 MVPs to his
Is
name.
this guy more
What?
random? Is this guy more random?
3 MVPs.
Is he an older?
He is older. Yep.
But we know who he is.
Yep.
Okay.
Fucking Elway.
Nope. Elway.
Did
is
we say Johnny Unitas yet?
the GOAT Johnny Unitas.
Colin
3
clocks out and then clocks
MVP.
back in and just comes on.
This
Bro,
fucking man.
Colin is
Colin,
the
you are a
wildest
fucking
trivia
big
player
head
of
trivia.
all time.
Who is the fucking worst person to do trivia with? This man will say one guess. No, like somebody will guess. And you'll be like, wait, who was said? And then he fucking pulls Johnny Unitas. Fucking called it.
Man,
Fucking
shout out to Johnny Unitas. Shout out to Jim Brown.
Billy Cannon
Goats.
just
Yeah.
Billy Cannon
if he would have
don't
played
think has one.
he's existed, he would have had a couple. So rest assured.
Guys, thanks for a great NFL season. We were very excited. We've been talking about doing this podcast for years, and finally, us 4 dumbasses were able to sit down and get it done together. So, thank you to Colin, our host, for editing these videos every time. He only missed 1 edit, so let's give a big up to Colin. 2 edits.
Still recorded those episodes, everybody. They
exist in the vault.
But big up to Colin.
One day we'll give you a director's cut of those 2 episodes.
Thank you, Colin, for taking time out of your busy schedule to edit the video. So big up to him. Thanks to our trivia guy, Dallas. Big up to him. We love trivia time. And
big up
to trivia.
And then give up to the comedic relief of the show, me and Donnie. I think we bring the comedy.
Mostly you, Marshall.
We're your Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. We argue so much that everyone likes us. Like that's
I'm the
how
bull
it is.
take guy who ends up being right. I'm just the Nick Wright of the group.
We're Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, you were completely right about the Bills being eliminated.
I am Shannon
right
Sharp. He's Skip Bayless, by the way. Dallas,
the
you
Bills
were
were definitely
hand.
eliminated.
We got
raising your
partial
hand,
credit.
Dallas.
This was definitely you
No, I was
exaggerating.
Okay.
Yeah,
But anyways, appreciate you guys for watching all season. Again, I think we might be going to every 2 weeks now for podcasts, but we're still going to be coming at you with podcasts, doing some mock drafts during free agency, stuff like that. But we'll be here all year until next NFL season, where hopefully the Lions win the Super Bowl. So appreciate you guys for watching. We are winning the Super Bowl, but hey, appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you guys for a great year, and we will see you guys in either a week or 2. Peace out.